AI Erik. AI Erik.
Oh, there we go. The white.
Turn it sideways. Do it need to be sideways? Do it need to be sideways?
Nah, that's good right there. Nah, that's perfect right there.
Okay.
I'm gonna do one thing before. Yo, I know you're a busy man, because I be watching you, man, and you definitely are making moves.
Yes, sir.
Yo, where you located at? Where you located at again?
You say when I what? What you say?
Oh shit, let me get this mic over here. I got the mic way behind me and shit. I'm sorry. Where you located at again?
I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Wow. So that's why the time difference. So, all right, man. So let's get into this, man. This is AI Erik, y'all know what I do. I come and bring y'all news on AI, but this brother here I met in at an Invest Fest, and I'm gonna show you all the video. I'm gonna pop up a video right now. He actually showed me love. He did a video, and he had a machine that was full of money. I'm telling y'all, you know the machines that be blowing? They got the crazy money. You could go in there and stack up, and he was walking around with stacks of money. So he is about his business, man. So his name is the White Looney. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about discover the power of credit, man. So I'm gonna show you a video. I'm gonna go into the file.
All the way from New York City, and we are interviewing people that's worthy of being interviewed and need to get the information to the people. What's your name and what you do, my brother?
My name is the White Looney, Mr. 24. My name is the White Looney, Mr. 24/8 himself. Hey, listen, I'm out of Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm a financial coach. I have a mentorship. I teach people how to fix their own credit, how to start their own credit repair business, and I actually help fix it themselves. And it ain't really about money. So credit, personal funding, business funding. I got a car rental business. I got a 1-800 pack out franchise business that I started with other people's money. So what I do.
I just want to make sure, because I'm going to chop this joint up, and I want to make sure people understand what's going on here. I need y'all to understand, man. Listen to him one more time on what he said, man. Pay attention.
Vegas, Nevada. I'm a financial coach. I have a mentorship. I teach people how to fix their own credit, how to start their own credit repair business, and I actually help fix it themselves. And it ain't really about money. So credit, personal funding, business funding. I got a car rental business. I got a 1-800 pack out franchise business that I started with other people's money. So what I do, I actually teach.
That's dope, man. So yo, this is
so that right there just was a dope right there, man. So we're gonna get into the nitty gritty, man, because I'm gonna be honest with you. You definitely to me stand out when it comes to credit repair, because I see people that do that, and I've always wanted to really understand, because everybody says they sell courses. So I got some questions we're gonna get into, man, so we can kind of, when people see this, man, they can understand like what credit repair is all about and why is it so important. Because one person I follow named John Hope Bryant, and I actually met him at Black Week recently. Nice. He has a book called Financial Literacy for All, and he emphasizes, man, credit. And you know one thing he said? He said that people with credit between 700 and 800 live longer, 10 years longer than people with credit 600 and under, and it's a proven fact statistically. That's crazy.
I had to fact check that. I'm gonna check that one.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man. Have you heard of him, John Hope Bryant?
No, I haven't, but I'm gonna look into him because I like his information already.
And yo, I'm telling you, he's one of the ones that really are trying to get us to understand it's not about color, it's about green. You know what I'm saying? And he says your credit score it's about your credit score. When you go somewhere, your credit score is 830. They don't care what color you are. You know what I'm saying? So right now we got the White Looney.
Can I touch on?
Go ahead.
I just want to touch on what you just said before, or I'll wait till you finish. I want to touch on what you said last though about how it ain't about color.
Go ahead.
All right, so
go ahead.
Man, that's 100% true. And the reason I feel like that I'm able to speak on that is because I have lived on both sides of the fence. I'm from the hood. I grew up in Gary, Indiana. Not saying that like my hood is better than nobody else, but I'm just letting you know that I have came from the slums. So I had that same mindset growing up, thinking that white people was born with good credit. I thought that it was was a race thing a lot. Don't get me wrong. We all prejudice to a certain extent, meaning that like if I go into a group of room, I'm going to go with my kind. So I'm not going to be mad at them for going with they on. But what the interesting thing you said though, when it comes to purchasing anything, it is about the credit score. I have seen how they treated me so different. I have got cars that I can't believe that they giving me. Like when I worked a 9 to 5 and I made good money, the cars that I have now, I couldn't even get them because it wasn't about the money. It was because I didn't understand credit. Now I go to the dealership. I can walk in the dealership and go get anything I want. I went and got a Rolls Royce. I'll be like, I can't believe they gave me that car. I went and got a Benz 500. I can't believe they gave me that car. I'm talking about when I'm saying I can't believe with no financials, just based off of my credit. It wasn't the color, but a lot of times we walk in and think like, oh, because I'm this and this. I'm telling y'all, hey, what that man just said, I just had to stop him right there because I got chills because that was an honest, that was an honest statement right there. My credit has let me into doors. My credit has got me in doors. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Your credit has led you into doors.
Yeah, it let me in doors. I can't believe that I have walked in. That's all I was gonna say. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
Man, no, this is you giving up the info on this, man. I don't have to do too much talking on this because this is for us to learn, and you're the teacher right now. So, but what I want to say on that is me being the AI guy, I know right now I'm definitely I have worked on mines, and I'm in a better place than I was before. And that is all because of a woman that was in my life that was on top of her shit. That kind of made sure that I got on top of mine. You know what I'm saying? For sure. But when things go digital, man, and people have bad credit, it's going to really be bad for them because it ain't going to be no cash and stuff like that. And everything, as far as I believe, is going to be digital. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, you just gave me chills, bro.
I need to learn. I need to learn way more, about this too. So I looked at the website and everything. You're a financial mentor and you have a bachelor's in psychology.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So,
yes, sir.
So we're not dealing with someone so we're dealing with an educated brother, you know what I'm saying? And he's an Army vet, you know what I'm saying? So we dealing with someone, he served our country, and he's a person of color, you know what I'm saying? Which is important because to me, I just believe that a lot of our kids look at the wrong people and people came out of jail, the rappers, and they feel like, it seems like that's all you could be. Like, that's why I like the fact that Earn Your Leisure came around because now we get to point people in the direction of cool brothers, feral brothers that got everything you striving to get, but they're doing it the right way. And now, so we got that to have them look at, you know what I'm saying? And that's why for me, that's one of the reasons I did this because, a lot of people always want to go to people, and I'm gonna have to say like myself and let's talk about your past. And I'm like, man, there's 10,000 stories like that. 100 that at one time that's all was everybody's story. But now we're coming into a world to me where we got EYL, we got other brothers that I met at Invest Fest that the finger need to be pointed to y'all. We don't need to hear about no jail stories and then success after that. They don't need to hear that shit. So they think that might be the right way to go, the wrong way, then the right way. Because it's different now. The wrong way, you done. Ain't no more, you get a second and third shot. Ain't no more of that shit. So, boom. I looked at the website and it looks like the core mission is basically, to help people get their credit done. So I got 10 questions for you.
Okay.
Credit repair process. Can you share more about your credit repair process, particularly how you expedite credit improvement and also what's a 609 letter? You know what I'm saying? Because I seen that on the website. So I think people need to kind of get what's that? Okay.
The 609 letter, that's like my secret recipe right there. That's what I actually put on my letter to get the credit bureaus moving. I put the consumer loan there as well. So I have all the codes. But what helped me expedite it is I'm going to give y'all my secrets, man, because a lot of y'all be lazy. Y'all don't use it anyway. But I'm going to give y'all my gems though. So the first thing that you do when you dispute credit, you want to block out the three bureaus. We all heard about Aspirin, TransUnion, and Equifax, but it's actually secondary bureaus that you really need to block out. They the ones that I call the snitches. They the one that houses the information. So if we block them out and tell them, like, hey, I want you to opt out, you cannot share my information. So when we dispute with Aspirin, TransUnion, and Equifax, when they try to go verify your information, it can't be verified. So if it can't be verified, then they have to remove it. So that's like one of my top secrets. That's what I do in the first round, meaning in the first 30 days. If that doesn't work, because you do have creditors like Capital One, Bank of America that don't sell their debt. So I have everything on file. So we have to approach them a little different. So then we have to approach them with either Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. You can actually dispute with the Better Business Bureau and one more. Can't even think of their name right now, but it's three different ones that we actually process and we dispute. I don't do fake police reports, not Attorney General. Okay. I don't know why I had the brain fart. So it's Attorney General, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and the BBB. So these little things right here that a lot of people don't know, they just think they can just send in letters and send in letters. So it depends on what the customer client needs. So when they come to me, I'll always ask for their profile. A lot of times they want to come to me, they want to tell me their whole life story, that it really doesn't make a difference. They want to tell me their whole life story. So that's when my psychology degree come in. I become their counselor. So they want to tell me their whole life story, and they just want to tell me their credit score. And I say, your score doesn't matter. I need to know what's actually on your report. So I always ask for a summary. I say it's a million people in the world with the same credit score, but nobody in this world has the same profile. So that's the reason why it's important. So when you go to a credit repair company, if they're not asking to look at your summary, then how do they know how to help you? They can't help you if they're not seeing what's on your report. They just can't send in. It's like shooting in the blind. They're no good. So that's how you're going to be able to tell if the credit repair person is the real deal. They're going to want to see your report. That's step one for sure.
Wow. This got me thinking, man. I was one of those. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
That's number one, the first question. But you got me thinking, because I know there was a time where I was scared to look at my credit report because of what was there. I didn't even understand it, didn't know how to. So I just ignored the shit. And I know there's a million of us that do that shit, man, and not really understanding the long-term ramifications. You know what I'm saying?
I was one of them.
It's sometimes scary, man. And that's why.
I was one of them. The reason why I got into this is because my credit was messed up. I actually was looking for somebody to help me fix my credit. And there's one other thing I want to touch on, just to fact check and let you know that you're 100% correct on, because you had said a lot. But yeah, cash is going to be obsolete. You're 100% correct on that. Everything is going to be digital and credit. So everybody want to always compare these two, credit versus cash versus credit. Everything is now digital and credit. So everything is a number. Your whole bank account, everything is a number, just like your credit. It's a number. So it's very, very important that y'all get y'all credit right. Don't get left out here. And it's another thing I want to say too, though. It's not even about credit. A lot of people look at like, it's credit versus cash. No, honestly, the number one answer is cash flow. But the secret is we use credit to get cash flow. So that's the real secret. So that's why we say the credit is the king, because the credit is what starts everything. That's your foundation. And like you said, you can't build a house off a good foundation. So the foundation has to be intact. So you use credit, you use other people's money to create cash flow. Cash flow is what's really king, though.
Wow. Leveraging credit. So do you have a program that teaches this?
Yes, sir. So everything that I have done in my life, everything I have done in my life, I actually put it in the program. So I actually have a community called Each One Teach One. I know everybody can't afford $5,000 for my mentorship. So I dug a little deeper because I really wanted to help. Honestly, I did this for my culture. I mean, shout out to everybody. It's for anybody, but I'm just going to be honest. This was for my culture. So I know a lot of people can't afford it. So what I did, I got a $24 community that I'm going to teach you how to fix your own credit. I teach you investment strategies on how to invest in the stock market, and I teach you how to get your first $50,000 to $100,000. So now you don't have no excuse. So now when you get your first $50,000 to $100,000, now you can come see me and get the whole state, because that's the sizzle. Then you come to the mentorship, get the whole state, and then I'll teach you how to grow it, and I give you all my relationships that I have, because relationships is very important as well. So it's really no excuse. 24/7 dollars to learn how to make $100,000 to actually learn how to start your own trade line business, learn how to invest in the stock market, learn how to get business being self-employed, learn how to fix your own credit. I mean, a lot of people don't believe it because it wasn't taught at home, but it's really no excuse now. We grown. And I wish I can give people insights because I was one of them people that didn't know, but credit changed my life. I always worked, always had a good job. Like the man said earlier, man, I've been in the Army. I didn't work construction for 16 years. I got a bachelor's degree in psychology. So I have always made good money, but that money cannot compare to the money that I see now. Problem is, in this world, everybody is trying to make $100,000 a year and not trying to chase to get $100,000 in their bank account. That's two different mindsets. And that's the mindset that they got to basically jump over. Everybody feel like if they making that much money, they're okay. Yes, you are okay, but that's basically saying it's a system that they got set up that mean that you're finna work for the rest of your life, because now those bills that you got to pay is basically you're working to pay bills. It's a system that they have set up.
Man,
they not go ahead, sir.
Out here in New York, 100 and not to cut you off, but 150,000 a year in New York, you live in paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, that's a fact. But a lot of people think they made it when they get there, and that's not living. And I'm not down it like I said, because I have lived that life. But I'm just trying to let people know that, man, like credit can open up so many doors. I know when people hear the word credit, they scrinch. They like, I don't want to hear that. Like they want something that they don't have to pay back. So that's the mental block. They feel like I don't want that money because I have to pay it back. You can give me a grant because they look at a grant like I don't have to pay that money back. So that means you don't really need the money anyway because your mind is not even there yet. Because you looking at that grant, you finna go shopping probably. You probably go buy some jewelry. You finna probably go buy a car with a grant. And then you're going to be looking for another grant and then another grant. You're going to keep looking for handout instead of going out here and working and hustling. And then shout out to the hustlers. Like, listen, man, I try to tell every hustler in this world, every good hustler, they got a plug. If you got the right plug, you the man. I'm trying to teach them right now that, hey, man, the plug is the bank. Just like if somebody gave you a key and they say, hey, man, I want 40 back. You're going to make sure you make at least 50, 55. You're going to pay them their 40 back. You're going to keep 15 and then you're going to recop. That's what you call in the street. You would do that. You will risk your life to do that because if you don't pay that man back, he can kill you or you're going to get life in jail. You risking your life. But when I tell you, you can go get 50,000 from the bank, you say, I don't want to pay them back. That don't make no sense. But you will take 40K on consignment, but you ain't going to take 50,000 legitly. If you a real hustler, you should be able to take that 50,000 and go do something legit with it. Go get a fix and flip. It's so many things you can do. Put it in the stock market, let it grow. It's so many things that you can do with that money. Go start your Airbnb. Go start your Toro. It's so many things you can do with that money. Everything ain't about the street stuff. We get so stuck in that because that's what we grew up in. You have to push yourself away. You have to sit down and just have to think. Like, you know what? He right. Like, if I can go get 50 from the Chase, then I hear people tell me, you go give me 50 from the Chase, I'm gonna go buy a brick. Like, man, I'm done.
You know, I've been hearing that, you know, people talk about grants. You hear about grants a lot, but, you know, I've heard that it's not as easy to get grants as people think. Because I know one woman who's actually a grant writer. She's very good at it, but she's like, she works for the county. But she's done that for years. And, you know, a lot of people just think it's easy to get a grant.
No, it's very hard. And you got hundreds of thousands of people chasing out the $20,000, $30,000. You got all these people chasing out all that, you know, just that little money. That's little money. When a grant doesn't really do nothing for you. So if I had a choice over a grant over credit, I'm gonna take credit. And the reason why credit, I can build a relationship. So if you get 50,000 grant, I get 50,000 in credit, I'm gonna end up passing you. Even if you take that money, right, and you make 70,000, I take the 50, I make the same 70. And then yes, I gotta pay my 50 back and you can keep going. But guess what? I can go back and get 100 next time. And then after I get that 100, they made, let's say 150. And then I go back get $250,000. So now I'm light years. I'm killing you now because now I got more revenue. Now I can 10x. And if you don't know what 10x is, that means I can go hire employees. I ain't got to work. Right. So now I'm running circles around you. That grant doesn't give you a relationship, but actually getting the credit, it builds a relationship with the bank. And the more money you bring them, my branch managers, they love me. They know when I'm coming in. I mean, I had one problem. I said, I want to shoot some content. So I wanted $100,000 to take out. You have to order that. You got to order that much money. Yeah. Right. So I ordered it. And when I came in, they was looking like, oh, we don't see this or we don't have it. I looked back at my branch manager. She ran up there. She's like, he give him them that money. Like I'm saying, they love me. And she went back there. She made it. They said they didn't have it. She went back there, looked and see who I was. She said, give him his money. And I was like, yeah. But that's like how all of them, they love me. They love you. That's why that's what you said it earlier. It's not a color thing. It's a money thing. Because I'm making them money. Exactly. Every time I get a loan, they make money. My money stay in their bank. They're making money. So they're looking at me as an investment as well.
Of course. And you get to be, so what I like about what you said is your thinking was long-term, because I listened to Steve Stout on an interview and he talked about how he was getting 1.5 million a year at this record label and he had an offer. Well, what happened was I think he seen Will Smith in a movie. The glasses had sold a lot with that alien movie. The glasses had sold a ton. He was amazed by it. He went and spoke with the company that put the glasses out and was like, listen, I could do this better than what y'all are doing. I could do this easy. So what happened was they made him an offer of, I think, like $125,000 a year, but 40% of the company, or some type of big percentage. And he thought about the money he was making. Then to that, like 150,000 or some shit, he was making 1.5 million. But he did it. They sold the company, I think, within 4 years for $190 million, some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So he thought, because the average person would be like, what? I'm not doing that. So dealing with the banks and dealing with the grant, like you said, you're gaining a relationship. You're getting more money next to you. I'm quite sure you could go in there and be like, yeah, I need 2.5 million. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they probably won't even question it now because of your relationship with them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying that it could be a lot more, but the whole thing is, that's crazy. So I think people need to pay attention to you and listen to you. So you already covered what I was going to ask next, which is basically entrepreneurial support. You know, what specific resources or guidance do you offer? You kind of covered that. Funding opportunities. How do clients typically reach their funding goals, and what unique approaches does your team take to secure high funding amounts? You can answer that, but I want to ask you something after you answer that question. You know what I'm saying? You kind of basically did answer it. You know what I'm saying? Because you said the 50 to the 1,000. I mean to the 100,000. So I'm
gonna get in detail.
Once again, like the question is how do?
So basically, this is the secret sauce. So this is how I make sure you get there. Like I said, credit starts at everything. So a lot of times when people come to me, the first thing I'm doing is looking at their credit report. Your credit report means everything. Your credit score means nothing. All right. So these are the things that you need to look at when you look at your credit report. You got to have no late payments, no bankruptcy. Well, I'm sorry. Let me make that political correct. No late payments in the last 2 years. There could be late payments, but just nothing in the last 2 years. No bankruptcy, no derogatory remarks, 2 or less inquiries. You want at least about 4 years of age, and you want every credit card that you have, every single one under 10%. That is a perfect profile. So, and I tell people like this, right? So that gives you like a 750. When my daughter turned 18, I put her on my credit card, and as an authorized user, she went straight to an 800. So I'm just giving you this example, let you know how a credit score is nothing, because she has an 800, but she has no history. She has nothing. She just has an authorized user on there. Me, I got automobile, I got mortgages, I got everything. So when they come look at my profile, it's structured out properly. I can go get things that she can't get, because a lot of people think like soon as they score hit 750 or 700, they can go get things. They'll come to me and be like, oh, I tried to go get American Express. I said, you ain't have a Capital One yet. You got to crawl before you walk. So it's levels to that. So once you get your profile right, you go get a card like a Capital One. You have to actually keep that card for 3 to 6 months. That credit card at least have to have a $2,500 limit on there. It got to at least have 3 to 6 months history. You're gonna get an authorized user and some more other little secrets I do to actually boost up your age. So when you go in there, they're gonna actually see that you actually is responsible. So they want to actually see what you do as well. Now we can take that credit report, and now we can go to the bank, even on a new business. We can go to the bank and get you $50,000 just off of following them little steps. That's not an overnight thing. That's at least a 3 to 9 month process, right? Depending on where you at, or it could be less than that, depending on where your profile is at. But just to build the profile out, you have to repair, and then you have to reestablish it. And then once you establish it, you make it strong. Then once you make it strong, we can go get business funding. So that's basically the whole secret. A lot of people think they have to go get net 30s and build a business credit up and all that. You honestly don't have to do that, because everything is going to be PG, meaning it's going to be based off of your personal credit, a personal guarantor. In layman's terms, that means that you actually are co-signing for your business that you're going to basically, your business is going to basically succeed and do what they say they're going to do with the money. So that's you actually co-signing for your business, what a PG is really is in layman's terms. So that's the secret sauce. As long as you build your profile out there, you can go and get that money to invest in anything that you want.
And so when a person get with you, because I heard you say like 8, 9, 10 months. So from the beginning, when a person signs up with you, and how long is the whole process from them saying, okay, I'm good now? A year?
No, a year, that's too long. Success loves speed. So I'm going to get you there as quickly as possible. It would never take that long. The thing is, people don't have patience no way, though. A lot of times when people come looking for credit, it's when they in desperate need. They only want to look at their credit when they need a car, when they need a house, or they getting put out, or they need a place to stay. And then they want it done in 2 weeks, right? But the real person, they're like, hey, I know this is going to take some time. And then you have a lot of other people that I tell them like, hey, it's going to be 6 months, 9 months. They might stay consistent for like 2 to 3. And now they own to something else. They can't stay focused. So, but the people that do stay focused, like I said, it takes 90 days or less to clear your credit. It might take another 3 to 6 months to rebuild a perfect profile. So at the end of the day, like I said, it's a 6 to 9 month process. It actually took me personally 9 months before I actually got to start doing and leveraging my credit. It took me personally 9 months.
So I want to go back to something you said about the inquiries. God, when you said that, I had chills run down my spine. And because, you always got these companies saying that it ain't going to affect your credit.
They lie to you.
Talk about that. I mean,
it doesn't.
Because that's what I've been wondering, man. How is it going to not affect it when they know you? So you said 2 inquiries in what, a year?
Yeah, 2 inquiries or less. So that's the reason why you got to kind of know how to do. That's the reason why you got to know how to do. So I'm gonna answer your question first. It doesn't really affect your credit score. I think it only holds like 5 to 10% of your credit score. So it really don't affect that. But what it does affect, it makes you look thirsty. So with too many inquiries, they're gonna say, oh, you applied to many places. That's an automatic deletion, even if you got an 800 credit score. Now, American Express don't care about your inquiries. Discover don't care about your inquiries. But let's say, who does? Navy Federal does. Bank of America does. Chase does. So it depends on who you go to. So that's why you come to somebody like me that knows and already educated, because a lot of times people think, oh, I had a lady call me today. Well, they always call me. I can do the funding on myself, but you don't understand that you will limit yourself. So you probably can spray and get lucky and get 10,000, maybe 50, maybe even 20. But if you come to me, I can 10x that. Because they be like, well, I don't want to pay you 10%. So they try to do everything on their own, go to YouTube University, end up with only 10, 20,000. When you could have came to me and I could have got you 100, 150,000. So yes, you had to pay me, but you got a whole lot more capital. You got a whole lot more money to start your business and grow it. So they be so worried about the front end. And I'm gonna tell y'all like this: rookies make money on the front end, experts make money on the back. So if you're not coming in with that mindset, then entrepreneurship ain't for you anyway.
Okay, so you getting 10% of the 100?
Yes, sir. So that's 10,000 for me.
Okay, and they also have to pay you to get into the program before this even happens?
Well, it's not even a program for that. That's just basically one of my businesses that I got. I got a funding business, or I could actually, the thing is like this, right? I actually teach people how to do it. A lot of people don't want to do it. I say, hey man, you can buy my course and I can teach you how to do it for $2,500. They be like, no, I just let you do it. I'm like, you gonna pay me a lot more. I had this one guy come in, he said, bro, I don't really have the time, I'll pay you. But I had got him 1.5 million, right? And I was trying to get him the course for 2,500, but instead he wanted me to do it. I got him 1.5 million. Yes, that's $150,000 for me. That's a good payday for me. And he got the maximum funding because he was smart enough to say, hey, you know what? I'd rather let you do it because you know what you're doing than basically me taking a shot. So he could have did his self-inquiry, walked away with 25,000. 25,000 versus 1.5. But people always worry about, well, he had to pay that back. Man, he had to give you 150. If you got $1 million and you can't go make $100,000 right back, then like I said, entrepreneurship ain't for you. Because if you're too worried about what I'm making and what you have to give out, because let me let you in on the secret. When you step in entrepreneurship, marketing is gonna be scary because you can pay $5,000 to run ads for a whole week and you don't know if that money gonna come back or not. When you go buy a building, when I went and bought my work, you just don't know if it's gonna come back. It's a risk. So if if you ain't ready to take risks, then entrepreneurship is not for you, buddy. And that's the reason why a lot of y'all is stagnant. Y'all be too worried. I be seeing it. It blocks them. Oh, I got to pay you this. I got to pay you this. People rather stay broke than pay you. They rather stay broke than pay out something.
Negative instead of a positive. Yeah, they always thinking of a wall instead of a door to go through. You know.
I know
that's
when
crazy.
I told people,
wow,
I paid $5,000 for a mentor. That was changed my life right there, though. But everybody thought I was crazy. The girl I was dating, I'm sitting here watching videos, I'm writing stuff down, I'm trying to learn all this stuff. And when I started learning it and I started applying it, my life had changed ever since. But a lot of people was telling me, oh, you could have did that yourself. If I could have did this myself, I would have been done it. No, I needed to pay somebody. And now the questions are different. Now people ask when they see my lifestyle, who told you this? They went from saying you shouldn't pay nobody to now, who taught you this? How did you learn this? I'm like, but you would pay $15,000 a year to go to college, but you won't pay $5,000 for mentorship. And the mentorship is going to actually teach you how to get there faster. Going to college is going to teach you how to go work for somebody. A mentorship going to teach you how to be a boss.
Yeah. Wow.
We dropping some gems tonight, brother. We preaching tonight, boy.
I'm gonna get you let me see something. Clients. Oh, this is what I want to see. This is what I'm gonna change this question because this is a client success metrics. Like what metrics outcomes does 24/8 use to measure client success in achieving financial freedom? That's perfect because I was actually thinking in my mind before I even looked at that. Like, what is the statistics of success from people you've already dealt with who did good with the money and people who has blown the money, or people just made bad investments? Or do you even follow that?
I follow it. You know, I don't follow it, but you know how I follow it? Because almost everybody I gave money to keep coming back. So I'm going to say they blew it. And the reason why majority of them blew it is because when they got the money, they don't know what to do with it. They would not invest it in education.
Yeah. And all I do is I'm sitting here just thinking like, Eric, if you had I would actually I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm even saying to myself, if I had got 100,000 right now from the bank, I would prefer to sit down and analyze and put together a plan on exactly how that money's going to be used, because the first thing I'm going to be doing is thinking about how I'm going to pay it back, because that as soon as you get it, that notes come in the next month, and you're going to be taking it from that while you're using it. So me, myself, I would definitely prefer to put an awesome plan together and make sure that the financials are in place the best possible way, because it might not go 100%, but at least I'll have something to follow. And my plan will be to pay them back, because I would want to get more down the road if I need to. You know what I'm saying? Like you talked about with your relationship with your bank.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. I remember somebody asking me that a long time ago. They's like, if you even got $1 million, what you would do with it? And that was a hard question for me. And I used to tell people that, and they'd be like, oh man, that's easy for me. It's easy. Because your first mind is thinking about spending. Money becomes a lot of responsibility. The more money I got, like Biggie said, more money, more problems. Because honestly, it's more responsibility. Because now I'm so afraid to lose. I want to go back to what I used to be. So now I gotta make this money go out here and make me baby monies, and I gotta keep bringing this money back out. A lot of people don't understand how money works. So you 100% correct, man, because that's the first thing people need to think about before they come get funded. You need to have already a plan what you're going to do with this money, or it's going to leave. You have to let that money go. You have to let it go work, because in your mindset, you got to pay yourself, you got to pay your employee, and you got to pay the money back. So you want to generate something that can do all three. You want to be able to pay yourself, pay your money back, pay the money back, and pay your employees. So that's what you got to generate. And so a lot of times that's a system. So sometimes you might have to go pay somebody for their system. You got to look up somebody. You got to be following somebody that you admire, that you know, like, and trust. You actually pay them for their system. A system saves you time, energy, and money instead of trying to figure out and bump your head and lose money. Because that's the one thing I liked about the guy that got the 1.5. He let me coach him. So I told him, I said, hey man, this is what we're going to do. As soon as we get this money, right, we're going to go put it in Robinhood. And he like, what we're going to put it in Robinhood for, right? Because you can put it at the time, you can put it up in Robinhood, and Robinhood going to give you 5% off your money. So now while that money is just sitting there, there, he was making like $5,200 every month just off the interest alone, just for the money sitting in there. And when he invested it in the stock, they actually basically gave him another $500,000. So now his 1.2 million turned to 1.7 million. So now he got 1.7 million and he's getting 5% interest off of that. So now I just bought you time. So it's so many things that you can do. But if you're not coming in and talking to somebody that been here, done that got that money, how you gonna know how to make that move? You can do the same thing with like Charles Schwab, a high yield account with them. So I think they get like 4.5 now. I'm locked in at the 5%. But this is how you make money. Then you can take that money and put it in a life insurance policy and let it sit. That's a long-term game. You can front load that, and then you can turn around and borrow from that, and then the money is still in there. Like it's still in there collecting 9 to 12% interest while you didn't borrow from it, and now you go on and make an investment. It's just so like these are the tactics that it takes to be financial literate.
Talk about that. You mentioned, not to cut you off, because so when people listen to this or even just watch it, he's in Vegas, and that's why there's a little time lapse right here. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm in New York, he's in Vegas. But damn, you just said something that I wanted to touch on. We were talking about financial literacy. Go ahead, keep talking.
Freedom.
I lost my chain of thought.
Yeah, that's okay. And financial freedom. So basically, you cannot save yourself. As our culture, we be thinking like, hey man, I want to leave my kids some. Or a lot of people think they got to go to work every day, work all the way till they get a pension, and think about like, okay, I got insurance from my job, so when I die, my kids get some, and then basically they just get enough to bury you, and then they might get 10, 20,000 that everybody in the family fighting over, about 20, 30. That's not no money. Generation wealth is not built through a 9 to 5.
Right.
It's built through a life insurance policy. So even if you work in a 9 to 5 or you're an entrepreneur, whatever it is.
So now, that not to cut you off, but that right there, the life insurance part. So I didn't even think about that, but we always hear about insurance policies. That's how the rich people have gotten rich. I hear the stories. I know kind of like how the walkthrough goes as far as how to do it, but we don't do that. But you just mentioned that's what we should be doing also. You know what I'm saying? So just talk about that a little. Like, what exactly is that? Like, I go get life insurance. I know there's a life insurance where I have that now. So if I die, my kids will get some money. They can bury me, blah, blah, blah. But now what's the life insurance, which I think they call it whole life insurance, where eventually I can borrow against it and then my kids can borrow it against it and blah. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, that's what we call infinite banking. That's what we call becoming your own bank, because that's basically all what the banks do, right? So when I go put my money in the bank, all they do is go put it in the life insurance policy. So that's where it's protected at. They collected 9 to 12% interest and give you 1. So that's the game. So you become your own bank when you actually start doing this yourself. So your money on this earth is for you to spend. And this is what any rich people you talk to, I used to think that white kids was like born into money. Like, okay, their father, their parents, they're rich, so they're rich. But honestly, it was shocking for me when I'm around them. They like, this is my money. Their money is in life insurance policies and trusts. And what they do with their kids, they give their kids information. So soon as their kids are born, they go get an LLC, right? So now when their kids get 18, they got an 18-year-old business. They put them on their credit as an authorized user. So now they got good credit. So now they got a head start. So now they like, hey, you done saw me flip money out my life. Now it's your turn. So they got an 18-year-old business. And they go to Charles Schwab. They get an investment account for them as well. It's 2 ways you can set it up. You can set it up. They get the money basically if they go to college or when they turn 18. So they got money already in the stock market working for them when they born. They got an LLC and they gonna have good credit because of the information. And then they get the information. Now they go to the bank and they go get their own $500,000, $1 million, and their daddy, whoever they are, if they rich, that's an easy cosign for whatever they want. But they don't really look at it like how we thought they looked at it. We thought they was giving money. No, they earn the money. It's just like if you watch a movie, to be a king, what they do, you always got to go through some type of test of fear. You gotta know how to fight. It's the same mindset. So a white guy told me, a rich white guy told me, he said, your culture would never catch my culture. Y'all decades behind us because y'all think that y'all gonna leave y'all kids what's in your bank account too much when you need to start leaving stuff in the life insurance. That's where the money is at. It even get even deeper, right? They have family meetings. They have like a family tree. They have family meetings. And when a certain baby is born, depending on who was born by and what order was in, they have a meeting and say, okay, what we going to give this baby? They already talking about what we're going to leave. Then they go in as a family and they go get a trust. And then they make a decision depending on their parent. They might say, hey, well, when this kid turns 25, they get the $500,000 or they get 100,000. So it's not about, we be thinking we have to go out here and work in hand when they learned how to use the system. We're so busy, like we'll get insurance on our cars, we'll get insurance on everything else, but we don't get insurance on ourselves. Like we're not important. That it's inevitable. We all gonna pay.
You know what I find? Let me ask you this, man, because you talking about everything that they do, and what I found is we hear this as a people over across the time. But my thing is when we see that we have people of our own actually learn this, work the system, actually show us their success. Do you still find it hard as far as for us? Because
they still call me a scammer.
See what I'm saying?
It's not the white people that call me that. What's interesting to me when I'm in the rooms with the other colors, Asians and white people, they call me intelligent. They say, "Oh, that's amazing. You know everything that you know. Oh, you're very financial literate." But to my people, if I do this same talking because they ain't taught it, it's a foreign language. They think it's a scam. It's not true. You can't do that. They sitting back waiting on me to fall off. And baby, I've been I've been successfully unemployed for the last 5 years. Ain't no falling off.
Wow. And that's everybody's goal. You know what I'm saying? That's everybody's goal. So you definitely have the steps to take. So let me ask you this. Client journey and transformation. Walk me through a typical client journey from the first meeting with 24/8 to reaching financial freedom. Just real quick. Because I'm not gonna. We gonna be close to an hour, so I'm gonna get a couple more questions from you. But my man Greg is actually on. He wanted to know, like walk him through it. Like I come to you, I got credit. Now, say for instance, you got someone that has bad credit with 20 things on it. Then someone whose credit is not that bad, he just need to get a couple of things off, and he's on his way. Like, how do you deal with each one of them? Is it a difference or is it the same?
It's the same process. The only difference is the negative items, is going to be 90 days or less, no matter what. No matter if your debt is 100,000 or if it's 10,000. If you got 20 things, you got 10 things. So that's the same process. The only different process is depending on, do one of them have a credit card, and one of them may have a credit card and one of them may not have a credit card. Or the third one I see a lot is they might have a credit card, but they have a high credit card usage. So a lot of times I can't do nothing with that client because you have to have your credit usage under 30%, really typically under 10% if you want no doc funding. So they have to take time out and actually pay their credit cards down. So that's something that they have to do on their own. Even if I wipe everything off and do everything I have to do, their credit score is not going to go up that high because of their credit card usage is too high. Then I might have a client that, okay, they got a credit card, their credit card use is only 40%. So I do what I got to do, and I tell them, hey, while I'm doing what I got to do in these 90 days, I need you to work on getting your credit card usage down. But if it's at least under 30%, I can go help them get a consolidation loan. And then they can take that consolidation loan money and actually pay everything off. And now they're free to work. Then you got the people that have no credit card that I have to actually put them on as an authorized user on my credit card so they can go get a credit card. And then they take their own credit card and bill from there. So them the three type of clients that I normally deal with. You're going to be falling one of the three.
Wow, that's deep. So
but it's nobody
credit,
I can't help.
Matter of fact, I'm not even going to ask that. I do want to ask this one. Credit repair challenges. What are the biggest challenges clients face during credit repair, and how does 24/8 help them overcome these hurdles?
The biggest one is their credit card usage. And that's just me basically coaching them and telling them how important it is to get their credit usage under 30%. And like I said earlier, I would actually guide them and I would help them go get a consolidation loan to pay the rest off.
Okay. 2 more questions. This question here is unique competitive edge. What distinguishes 24/8 from other financial literacy credit repair services? And I ask that because we all know none of us are doing things that someone else is not doing. We hear a lot of people talk about, I can fix your credit, I can give you 100,000, the same way as people, I could tell people I could teach you AI, and there's a whole bunch of other people saying I could teach you AI. What makes 24/8 different from other financial literacy and credit repair programs?
I'm glad you asked that question, because I'm different from one. When you said earlier, I went to school for psychology. The reason why I went to school for psychology, because I actually wanted to help troubled kids, because of where I came from. And I wanted to basically get the education so I can go help them. But God told me, no, I got a bigger plan for you. He taught me financial literacy. So not only am I able to help kids, I'm able to help now people of all age and all ethnic groups. So that's the reason why I'm different, because I actually really care. So when people come to me, and if I come to a situation that I can't, or they really need something, I'm in it just as well as they in it. So my energy get drained so much on a daily basis, because I got my heart in this. When people tell me they need a car, they need it in 2-3 weeks, I do all I can. I go all the way out. So that's the difference. And on top of that, the most important thing is I don't just fix your credit. I actually consult you. I'm not going to just say, hey, okay, take your money, then bam, you ain't going to hear from me no more. If you need guidance, I'm going to guide you. So you're getting a 2-for-1, because a lot of times you got to pay somebody for credit repair, and then you got to go get a credit coach or a counselor or a consultant. I'm sorry, a consultant and a credit repair. Me, you getting both. That's why I don't really like to even say I'm a credit repair. I'm more of a credit consultant more than anything. So that's the most important. You're not going to just get your credit fixed with me. You're going to get a credit education. So everything that we're talking about right here on this podcast tonight, actually walk my clients through step by step. I tell them to write their goals down, and I teach them how to achieve it. So now when they leave me, they don't have to come back.
Is it actually you they'll be talking to, or do you have a team?
I got a team actually do the disputes, but it's going to be me they talking to when it comes to the consulting part. So when it comes to like giving them updates and sending a credit report out and doing the disputes, I train the team. I have a team. I have that automated. But when it comes to when they need some consulting, that's when they actually talk to me. I'm actually trying to get away from that, because they they drain the mess out of me. But I honestly love doing it. I don't see myself going nowhere no time soon. I be saying they get on my nerves, but I love them though. And if it wasn't for them, it wouldn't be no me.
Word up. So last question, future goals. What's next for 24/8, and how do you envision involving the company's offerings in the next 5 years? Like what's your plans for the next 5 years? Because we know you got a business model you sitting on. I don't think you just sitting back saying this is it, this is what I'm doing. So what's your plans for the next 5 years?
All right, just
sum it up quick. You don't have to give a breakdown.
Well, real estate. I'm digging into real estate right now, so that's what I'm working on. So my daughter needed a place to stay, right? And next thing you know, the way my head works is leverage everything. So basically, I said, you know what? I'm gonna buy you a duplex. I'm gonna put you in a duplex, and then I'm gonna rent the other side out. And basically, I'm gonna have them pay for everything. So now I don't have to worry about you. So it's just all about leveraging. And then after that, I'm gonna do a lot of fix and flip. So real estate and love is for 24/8. So I'm looking for a partner I can partner with and grow with, because it's not all about money if you ain't got nobody to share with. So I've been really dedicated on my business for the last 3 years. So I want things automated to the point now I can just delegate it. So now I just don't really want to be in the business no more. But now it's time for me to go out here and find that queen. That's what it's about now. Somebody I can build with, and somebody I can help build up.
All right, well,
so that's my goals.
Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it from one of the best in the game, the White Looney. And what I like when you said you got your heart in it. You know what I'm saying? That's authentic, man. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna do another part 2 to this. You know what I'm saying? Video came out a little choppy, so I would probably more put this in the audio form, because the audio came out excellent. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I'll hit you when we off there anyway. So once again, man, let everybody know what the website is, how to get in touch with you.
Okay, basically the website is 24/8 spelled out, EIGHT.solution spelled out. That's my website. But follow me on IG so you can really get to know me. And that's at 24 the numbers, 24 dot the number 8 Erik.enterprise. So follow me on IG so you can look through some of my content, get to know me a little bit, and then you can find me on the website after that. But just come get to know me. Any questions you got, hit me on the inbox. And I just want to thank you for taking your time out to put me on here and actually get to talk and spread the word, because this is what it's all about. Each one teach one. So I appreciate you. I appreciate we've been locked in since Invest Fest. From the first day, we didn't kept our word. So I look at you as a real good brother for that. You kept your word with this, so that means a lot. So message to y'all, keep y'all word, especially if you're a man.
And
so
I'm coming to Vegas. I'm coming out that motherfucker. Now I got a reason, like, yo, my man out there.
Oh man, I'm doing it out here. So anything you need, brother, I got you. I'm the man out here. I can stand on that.
Yo, all right, yo, I'm gonna hit you once we on this. Yo, once again, y'all, this is AI News with AI Erik. It was a pleasure to have my man, the White Looney, on 24/8 credit. So rich off information. What is that? So rich off information. That's another name for the company.
That's the mentorship part of it.
So rich off.
Yeah.
Okay,
When you come to rich off information, that's when you get into the mentorship.
We're gonna have to do a part 2 on that. So I'll hit you as soon as we off this. Yo, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We're gonna definitely turn this into a audio podcast. Little choppy. The next one's gonna come out perfect. Once again, AI News with Erik. Peace and love.
All right, love, brother. Appreciate you.
AI News with AI Erik.